Okay, that should work. Quick ping, and then we will get started. Alright, here we go. So, we have played... Who did we play last week? We played... I'll check on my phone. I'm not sure if this light works. Hold up. Yeah, kind of. ECAC. We played... If it wants to load. It's loading. Give it a sec. Competitions. Valorant. ECAC for MCE. Wow, why is it not? Give it a sec. I don't know why it's so slow. We played Canton. Sony Canton. We won one round, lost one round, and then my recording got messed up, so I don't have the last game. It is what it is. That is fine. But I guess still, realistically, I'm not going to get through both games. So I am going to talk about just one. Because realistically, it's going to take a long time to get through that. Just make sure that the stream is going so I don't have to do this again. I don't know why everything is so slow today. What is happening? There we go. Yes, it is working. Looks good. We're going. Let's talk about... Well, we got two options. We got Split, we got Haven. Those were the two games that I have saved to my computer. So, let's start with...
You guys come above that. I'm smoking.
Let's start with Haven. I'm gonna pull up... Haven. Now, we did not get a chance to go over anything over Haven, because I was not anticipating to play Haven. But sometimes you just gotta be flexible, and that's okay. So the squad I had running on Haven was Connor, Jordan, Ryan, Hayden, and Gannon. I believe this is either the first time Gannon has played, or it is one of the first times I've had Gannon playing, which is kind of cool. So he was new to the squad. Just a little bit of context and background when you watch back some of the plays. There is a little bit less chemistry with Gannon compared to everyone else. And yes, my nose is stuffed. I'm better, but I still have like nasal congestion in my nose, so I still sound a little funny. Okay, here we go. The team comp, we did not have that much time to discuss ahead of time, so I just had both players run heavy flash duelist characters. Hopefully the main game plan was don't focus too much on over big board strategies, which ultimately is better, but play a little bit more individual and focus more on fundamentals of trading. I really believe that this team has a good sense of fundamental gameplay and just taking small advantages and turning those gunfights into victories. So that was the strategy that was behind this team comp. Also, I wanted a Killjoy. Gannon did not know how to play anyone Sentinel-wise other than Sage, so that has to change. Sentinel is one of those few separated characters that I don't care what level you're playing at, you need to have a certain level of competency for Sentinel. So, right off the bat, I'm going to write down notes inside of the playbook. Just things I want to focus on. And the very, 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 very first thing I'm gonna have is we need a player who basically like perma sentinels. I don't know who it's gonna be yet. Well, we need a perma. Oh, get started.
Throwing dart. Alright, boom.
Due to the nature of what is it? Breach being kind of garbage right now. All of the traditional Flash characters being just bad. It takes extra leverage to play like Phoenix and Yoru. And I just had Ryan basically permanently running on Phoenix because that seems to be the only character he could play at any level. And I'm having Johnny Bones play Yoru to learn how to play secondary duelists. So they don't have a primary duelist, they just have 2 secondary duelists, and I was hoping that would be enough. Whether they realized it or not, I have no idea. So right off the bat, I want to talk a little bit about utility. So utility, when you throw a silver dart, because I know that Davis, you should be watching this back. I know that Johnny Bones, you should be watching this back. I know that Hayden, I know you don't play this character, but you should be watching this back. I want to talk about util. Let's talk about basic util. So when you go to C, when you throw the I'm going to pull out the characters that they were playing. We had a Sova, we had an Omen, we had a Yoru, we had a Phoenix. Who the heck is Phoenix? And we had a Chamber. The Chamber is going to be realistically not be like, ever used. I don't ever want to see Chamber ever. The reason is Chamber at least has a trip to watch flank. And that seemed to be the simplest character to run Ganon on. Ideally, we should be having a Killjoy, we should be having a Cypher. There's very little reason not to do that. So right away, I want to talk about the dart. Do on the map. The dart, he throws the dart behind the wall. Behind this, now this is not 3-dimensional, so you can't really see. But, it's behind the box. So one quick little pivot when he lands the dart, if you're going to throw the dart, you want it to be above this box, like somewhere here, up here, where my mouse is. That small little change, that has to change though, because this box basically does not clear anything on backside, because it's blocked by the box. You need this dart to be up and above. So right here, your team is thinking that all of this space is safe. It is not, because the dart doesn't see anything. If there's someone logs, it doesn't see the guy logs. If there's someone backside, it doesn't see the guy backside. The only thing it really sees is this back corner here, any of the left side of the map, which is helpful, but it could be so much more, right? So if you're just gonna throw a dart above that, just heads up, throw the dart a bit higher. Secondly, we throw smokes.
I'm smoking.
Yeah, so up, more right.
Alright, boom.
Johnny Bones throws good TP. No problems with that TP. You're gonna flash in with that TP. We get Hayden throwing a smoke. That smoke needs to be more flush. So I will harp this until you guys get it right. When you guys have a choke point like that, when you guys throw smokes are always flush with the relative wall. So you can see that the relative wall goes down like this. So you want the smoke to be flush like that. Okay. When you throw a smoke, it should look like that. Our smoke kind of looks like this. It's actually a bit low. It's a bit too offset. So what this means is players can walk out of this. Opposing teams can walk out of this a little bit easier. And also, because it's down a little bit low, you can see over the corner a little bit. So this is the incorrect smoke. This is the correct smoke. Bad, good, bad, good. Okay, just get used to identifying that. Actually, no, he threw it the other way. I'm sorry, I'm blind. He threw it up high like that. Still bad. Don't throw it like that. Throw it flush. You take that extra split second of time to make sure you're throwing the smoke correctly.
Flashing backside.
So the flash comes out. This Viper orb is bad too, which is why you're allowed to swing to the side.
Okay.
Okay. Let's talk about that flash. I hate the I need to change it so it doesn't go so far back when I click left.
Boom.
Okay. Where does he throw that flash?
Backside.
He throws it back wall. That's fine. Yeah, that's acceptable. That's probably one of the best blinds that you can throw. It's just unfortunate that Jordan was wide. You just have to be ready for that. Because In this case, Yoru is playing as entry, Phoenix is playing as primary, secondary, I meant. So Phoenix's flash would be used getting out of the Viper smoke. Yoru's flash would be helping him get on backside and putting pressure on backside. We needed a second smoke. This is something, Millie is still learning the role, so I'm not going to beat up on him too hard. There needs to be a second smoke here. Now this is a little bit more of a complicated smoke, unlike the smoke down here where it's just very straightforward to throw. This one is a little bit more complicated. This one takes a little bit of nuance to understand. So there's 3 kinds of smokes that you can throw when you are smoking off CT. There is the flush smoke, which looks like this, right? This is a downstairs. You come down the stairs as you come onto site. So the elevation is a little bit kind of messed up. So you can do a flush smoke, which looks like this. This is a flush smoke. You can do a corner smoke, which the corner line that you're trying to draw is from this box to this box, like that. It's really hard to do, so you have to be it's not hard to do. It's a little bit more precise to do, but it's really not that hard. This is probably the smoke that you will be throwing most of the time. The problem with this smoke is you can really isolate if you're careful, but both smoke you can isolate if you swing out of the smoke correctly. So it's a little bit tricky. I like, for rank, most of the time when you're playing ranked, you're going to be throwing the 45-degree smoke, this one here. Sometimes when you are putting a lot of pressure, so for example, you're playing here, right? And you're playing here, right? And you're playing here on the box maybe, and you're playing here, and you're all kind of like focusing the stroke point, and you're really, really holding it. That's when you'll throw a flush smoke. But 90% of the time, it is, especially at elos where you don't quite understand how smokes work, you want to throw it like this. The reason for that is, instead of when you smoke it like this, if an opponent swings out here, he's able to isolate the logs fight. He's able to isolate the logs fight because this guy, depending on how hard he swings on that side, might not be able to see him because of the wall. He would have to swing the full distance in order to kill the log smoke. So if you have a smoke like this, it is easier for your opponent to swing looking this way and then take a 1v1, okay? And also, this guy will, if he's holding this angle, if he walks out really, really far to this block, he can't see him either. So throwing a flush smoke like this generally kills the log player, right? There is a way to play around it. You need to be able to play here. Yeah, that's huge. You can't really see what I'm doing. You need to be able to play here and kind of get yourself the second trait. But then you have a problem with losing a timing when someone walks out. There is practical reason to know how to throw both. You'll be throwing this one primarily, because this one, if they swing out this way, it fully exposes both players to this angle. So even though the logs player is going to get hard swung, it is nearly impossible for the guy swinging out of CT to isolate a fight, right? So you generally want to throw this smoke. Also, if they walk out in front, then someone back sight can see you. If they walk out to the side, someone here can see you, and someone here can see you. And this angle is more shallow, so he might be able to see you as well. All of that to say that this is realistically a better smoke. There are some players, and this is a smoke that you absolutely need to be very, very, very careful throwing. Eddie, what's up? How you doing, man? I'm doing we're doing Val notes for my mountain cats. We are going to be we're just going over their game that they just played last Tuesday. They lost, but it was a close game, so we're just going over some small mistakes and some utility stuff. The third smoke that people throw on CT looks like this, which on paper, if this was a perfectly flat ground, would actually be very good. This would be a good smoke because it flushes this off. The problem is, I remember how I mentioned that this is a staircase and this elevation up here is higher than the elevation down here. This smoke, you can see over it, right? So it doesn't really block off CT that well, and it requires you, I need somebody to blow my nose. It requires you to be extra careful about how you play that. So again, this is very situational. You should know what that smoke looks like. I'm gonna get something to blow my nose. You should know that that smoke exists, and you should be able to take advantage of it. But again, you will throw this kind of smoke maybe 1% of the time. You will throw this smoke maybe 10% of the time. You'll be throwing this smoke most of the time. It is realistically the safest smoke that you will be throwing. It's the smoke that you try to throw, unless you get to a certain level. And that may change. Smokes update every now and then, where there's a better smoke because of a certain logic. That's all you need to know for that. I'm going to erase all this stuff. So these two smokes should be out before you get onto site. Just right off the bat. So going back to their game, you can see that Millie, he's new to Omen. I'm not gonna hold it to him too much, but he should have this smoke out. There is no reason to have this many people, like...
Get spike down, Plant. Cannon, that's you.
Like, there's no reason to have this many people on site and this CT smoke not being there. Right? There's no reason not to.
Down, Ryan.
Okay. Okay, secondly, I discussed it with them. They already know this, but I'm gonna reiterate it just for the VOD in case if anyone forgets. The bomb. Bomb must be planted here. There is no exception to that. Zero exception to that. Well, there is one exception to that. But there is almost no exception to that. And make sure you do it a little bit closer to this side. So I'm gonna bring it... I'm exaggerating. I'm doing it like that. But it should be up against this wall, slightly closer to you. That way you actually have a way to spam it. Ideally, if you know what you're doing, you throw it exactly smack center in the box, so that way people can't diffuse it, like on the top and the bottom, like that. But if you have to be a little bit... They're in that stage where they don't quite have those really, really fine motor skills in this game. I would say bias it slightly towards you, toward this side. So that way, if someone does end up diffusing, even if they're diffusing in the front of it, if you're playing long, you can still spray that, you can still shoot that. It's pretty safe to do. That would be my recommendation for that. So the smoke, the bomb, planted here. The only other place you will be planting it is... And this is arguably a better plant spot, actually, but people don't do it because of just how dangerous it is. You can plant it on the exact same side on the opposite side. A lot of people don't know this. The two plant spots that you can plant is here and here. Those are the only two you should be doing. The left side is actually technically better. But the reason why you don't do that is because opponents at better levels can actually just spray while you're planting the bomb. Right, that's a very dangerous spot. If someone walks out, they could pop your head. If no one's watching, no one's careful, they could get away with mortar. So it's very dangerous, but that is another viable spot that you can play the bomb. Also, the right side, it gives you the advantage. If you wanted to, you could one-way it. You know. So there's that advantage. And sometimes, if you want to play that like really, really like spammy position, you could also plant... I've seen people plant here as well. This third position is probably the worst plant spot out of the three, but it is one of the three, right? If that makes sense. You can still plant there without getting in too much trouble. The main reason why this plant spot sucks a little bit is if you're playing garage and you have to walk out, there's no way for you to defend that bomb. None. You have to walk all the way out to about here in order to defend that bomb. You just can't. So this is... I will say this is like 80%. This is like 15%. This should be realistically 1%. I know that those percentages are not accurate, but like, 80 to 85%. You'll be planting here. That's what I'm trying to say. Plant here. Those are just all the better spots to plant. Try not to plant here unless it's, you just need to make sure that you're safe getting the bomb down and you're like by yourself. That's it. Other than that, really no other point planting there. Alright, going back to their VOD, they finally get the smoke down, and this is the smoke that I'm talking about. So this is one of the smokes I'm gonna have you guys stray away from using. Okay, because if you're playing up like this, this is a good smoke. Right? But and since they have 3 people looking at this is actually perfectly fine. See how many okay, the fact that the jet lives there is borderline insane. But look at how many sight lines they have looking at the CT smoke. The fact that the jet lives there is okay, whatever.
I'm gonna hold DT. I'll play from upper.
Like, Ryan was just like, he just didn't feel like playing the game, I guess.
2 CT.
Yeah.
Still garage. Jet 52.
Yeah.
CT. Heard.
One enemy remaining.
Last tunnel. Could be flank. CT. 5 seconds till smoke.
They look so wobbly. This was the... I really do not get how they get to this point, but I've been trying to get them to warm up before their game. I just like 1v1 them, 2v1 them. Just, you know, get them in the mood of shooting and stuff. It doesn't seem to help. They seem to be pretty cold in the beginning, no matter what I do.
Smoke CT.
So I think I might consider starting them out with maybe a scrim. Well, they also have another problem, which they don't have the endurance. So I don't want to play a whole game and then jump into ECAC and start competing, because they're just gonna be gassed the whole way through. They barely survive two games. That's like their peak. If they win 2 games in SteamWorld, then they're good. If they go into game 3, they're just smoked. Which, I don't know. We need to build that stamina up a little bit.
Come watch garage. Yeah. Just watch that smoke.
Okay. Yeah, that smoke.
You can just wait for that. You don't have to hold him.
It's true. I'll play from long.
Yeah. You have to walk out so far in order to defend that smoke.
Oh. Good
Do
play.
some
That
shit.
was really good.
I might do that.
Yeah, good job.
But my main focus I would try to focus on getting them to just build endurance. They need to get used to just playing together for like at least 4 hours in a row. And then I'm done with that. I don't have to worry about that.
What are we thinking? Round 2. We should
It's a conditioning thing.
we're forced there on eco, so what
Swifty does sound like a good idea, though.
Okay, let's just fucking slam.
But I there's no realistic way for me to get the competition that they need in a Swift play, because they're going to be playing against shitters, and that doesn't really help them.
Slam A.
Okay. Slam A?
Yeah.
They need to play against a Swifty. If there was like a Swifty ranked, that would be it.
Okay.
I can then okay, we need like 2 short, 3 long. I'm gonna go long. So short should be like fucking Phoenix can come up and flash through short. One person go him, and then 3 of us will go main.
I need to go long so I can play my dart.
Hey Ryan, whenever
Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys, can you hear the game chat? Like the game audio?
whenever I go on site,
You should be able to, right?
I'm flashing CT and TPing underneath hell, okay?
Okay, let's talk about utility. When you are buying, so I have not talked about economy with them yet, which is crazy. I know. We're how many weeks in? We're week 5 in, and I haven't had the chance to talk with them about economy. We need to talk about economy. So the way that economy works is we are going to start at the top. We're going to start in round 1. Round 1, you buy whatever you can buy, and then you move on to round 2. Okay. Round 2 has there's 2 parallel universes in this. You either win the pistol or you lose the pistol, okay? There's actually technically 4, but we're not going to talk about that because it's complicated. We'll just keep it simple. You win on one situation, you lose. On one situation, you win this round. If you win, you are supposed to buy full kit. Full kit. Looks like an H. Full kit. You buy your entire loadout. You should have your entire loadout. You should have a heavy shield, realistically. And you should have a Stinger or a Spectre. Right? There is no real reason not to have that. If you want, you can replace the Spectre with a Stinger if you have something planned. Or if you want, you can replace the Spectre with a Deagle. That is also something you can do, but not everyone should be running Deagles. Right? Or regen. I guess, yeah, regen is a thing now. I forgot about that. Regen. Right. You can do one of the 2. Heavy or regen. You should basically, there's no point where you should be saving money on the second round if you win. You should ball out. The alternative is true. If you lose, you should buy nothing. Basically nothing. If you had a few picks, a few kills, maybe a deagle. If you have money. That's it. Right. If you're on defense, maybe a shorty. Right? That's all you should buy. Or if you lose. And you only buy a deagle if you got kills the round before, on the pistol round. If you got a few kills, then yes, Deagle makes sense, because you can still buy with the team on round 3. On round 3, so again, there's 2 ways this could go. If you lose, well, this is easy. Win or lose, round 3. Win or lose, you still full buy. That's not your spell buy. I know this looks messy, but this is what you do. Coming off of the losing side, you come down, you don't buy anything round 2, you full buy round 3. Win or lose, you full buy round 3. That is your gun round. You should have a gun. You should have a full heavy shield. We'll talk about light shields in a little bit. Right now, we're just talking about how to properly play the game. You should have heavy shield. You should have a vandal. You should have your full kit. Those 3 things going into the round 3. All 5 of you. It's a little bit more complicated on this side of the board, because if you win, there's 2 ways it could go. You could win, or you can lose. I'm gonna put. Okay. If you somehow lost your heavy, you full save. You don't buy a thing, not a penny. Not a penny. You do not spend a single dime, because you lost the round you were supposed to win, so now you're kind of screwed. For here, you got full save, that's what you do. Don't buy anything. If you won the second round, which is what you should do, realistically, on round 3, you will light buy. I'm running out of room. This includes, you will buy stuff, like you could buy a little bit of utility. You could buy maybe a deagle, right? Maybe a deagle. Maybe you pick up a spectre. Maybe you could buy someone else's deagle, right? You basically should be buying deagles. Deagles, a little bit of shields, and a little bit of util, up until the 4,200 credit mark. Okay? You should, as long as you are above 4,200 credits going into round 4, you're good. Right? That is the buy. And then from here, you will go into series of saving and buying and saving and buying and saving and buying. Right? That is how economy works. It is very important that you play the economy of this correctly, or else you screw yourself and the entire team over in the next couple of rounds. It will actually indefinitely, because one bad buy in the first 3 rounds will snowball into you losing 4 or 5 more rounds afterward, until you finally decide to wait, reset, and by then the half is probably over. So it is a very important thing that you buy correctly. Very important. So I want to talk about here the buy. So I can't see everything, but Divis here, which is Jordan, has nothing. He has the shield, and he actually has a vandal, which is not what you're supposed to have. You're supposed to have a spectre.
Whenever I go on site, I'm flashing CT and TP.
He should be. At this point, remember, this is round 2. They won the pistol. They're going into round 2. He should have full kit. He should have a spectre, and he should have a shield. He has a gun and a shield. By the way, there's short-term slang for all of you guys who are wondering. Whenever you hear a player say, "I've got a gun," they're referring specifically to the vandal or the phantom. That's what it means to have a gun. So, yes, the spectre is a gun. But when I say he has a gun, he's talking about vandal. I'm talking about vandal. Most of us talk about vandal. The term gun means vandal, like an actual gun, not a toy gun.
Okay. I'll go.
So here, Johnny Bones bought correctly. That is correct. That is the buy you're supposed to do.
I'll go with Ryan. I'll smoke heaven.
Divis has the wrong buy. You lose that gun, you give it to the opposing team, they now have the gun advantage over you. That is not good to have. You never, ever, ever want to be uneven with your team. Right?
Give me a shout when you want smoke.
Yeah. I can't see the other team. Like the other members of the team. Okay. Upjo, he bought correctly. He has regen, which is good. Especially for Phoenix. That makes actually a lot of sense. He has regen, he has Spectre, he has full shield, full kit.
Smoking.
Going to flash. Now.
Smoking.
Doing it now. Keep being.
Flashing.
I also need to teach you guys how veto works. That little thing means that Phoenix Flash is not going to work.
Throwing
Smoking.
the flash. Now.
Smoking.
Throwing it now. Keeping.
So that guy, there's no point in him throwing this. He just walks out. Just walk out. Okay. The Divers bot wrong. Johnny Bones bot right. Ryan bot right. I didn't get a chance to see what Millie bought because he died before I got the chance to look at him.
Fine.
And Ganon put Trip down. He kind of bought right. That's okay. He basically went with Headhunter, which is acceptable for Chamber. That's fine.
Throwing the flash. Now.
Smoking.
Throwing it now.
I want to see what Millie bought. Surely there's a point in time when I look at
What do we think?
Millie.
So try it whenever I.
You want smoke?
Oh, it was just there. It was there.
I'll go with Ryan. I'll smoke heaven.
Millie Bulldog Light Shield.
Give me a shout when you want.
Okay,
smoke.
that is just. He looks at him for like a second. Yeah, good eye. So full kit Light Shield Bulldog. That is a little bit heavier of a buy. That is still technically correct, but it's generally safer. I'll accept it. That's okay. That's fine. No, so far out of this squad, the only person who didn't buy correctly was Divas. And ironically, it's because he bought too expensive of a gun, as opposed to not expensive of enough gun. Most of the time, I see this in my own ranked games. You will see someone just try to like force and like carry a deagle over. Don't do that. One guy, if you have one guy on a deagle, that's fine. On this team, they've got one guy with a deagle, which is Ganon, right? With the headhunters. That's fine. If there's one. If you need spray weapons, because spray weapons is your advantage. The fact that you can shoot multiple bullets at a very close range, at a very quick, just dishing out damage. That's the advantage of it. That's what you buy. So here, everyone, I would say Ganon bought correctly, Upjoe bought correctly, Connor bought correctly, Divas bought incorrectly, and Millie slightly bought incorrectly. Slightly correctly, slightly incorrectly. I would much rather see him buy a shield than a Bulldog.
Smoking.
Because you gotta think of it this way. What do the opposing team have? Pistols, right? So you want to make sure that you don't die to two people swinging you, as opposed to having a little bit more firepower, which ultimately doesn't really mean.
Now.
Smoking.
Throwing it now. Keeping.
Flashing. Find the smoke.
Yeah, so now they lose a Bulldog,
Ryan,
which
find the smoke.
is not that big of a
Hard right
deal, but they really need to kill this guy,
Hard right. Oh,
which they did.
there we
Okay,
go.
that's fine.
it.
One CT. One CT.
Okay, this looks good. I'm fine with this.
Maybe.
My smoke's down heaven.
Let me go back and look at that utility.
Throwing it now. Keeping.
Heaven smoke goes down.
Flashing.
Yeah, Hayden's again not bullying Hayden. Hayden is doing good, but his heaven smoke was consistently slightly off, and his CT smoke was consistently late. He actually dies before he gets it out, but realistically, when your team is getting out, is when both of your smokes should already be out. You should be ready to go out and fight with the team as the smoker.
Ryan behind the smoke. Okay.
So two things: veto that gargle thing. Don't bother throwing flash. Phoenix Flash doesn't do anything. And smokes need to go out faster.
Hard right out of sewers.
It's hit.
Hard right. Oh, there we go. That's it.
One CT. One CT.
This util is fine.
Maybe.
This is actually good, like recognition that your
smoke down,
your smoke was dead.
You just hold.
One enemy remaining.
Last probably CT you're having.
Heaven's dead.
Okay. This was funny.
Ow. What the fuck?
He was like you were consistent. He was consistently running in the wall.
There's a bulldog outside sewer if you want to swap for that.
Nice.
Good kills. Good kills. My bad on the
Yeah.
dip.
A again.
That's fine. So this round, let's talk about this round. How you buy this round? You won. Some of you survived with a gun. So now you need to make sure that you have enough money to buy for round 4. Because this round, this particular round, you were not expected to win. You were expected to do heavy casualties. That's the advantage of winning pistol. Winning pistol is supposed to guarantee you round 1, almost guarantee you round 2, do a crap ton of damage round 3, And then round 4, you actually have guns. So now you're even. So you're supposed to have 2.5 rounds of an advantage. That's what winning pistol does. Let me see how they do that.
Okay.
Here I see
Um,
Millie buys a Vandal. He died. He should not be buying a Vandal. That is incorrect. That is not what you're supposed to buy.
Like a hard
Johnny Bones,
I think
he also
default and then
he upgraded. So he went from a Spectre to a Phantom. That is also incorrect. That is not what you're supposed to do.
if we can't get on top.
yeah, I agree.
Here, you could also look at the economy. So you see how Millie and Johnny both have 50 credits left over? They should both have about 2,000 credits. Roughly, about 2,000 credits left over after buying. Here I'm also going to say that Upjoe should probably upgrade from a regen shield to a heavy shield and buy a kit. Because he has more money to spend, he needs to spend some of that money. And Ganon has a lot of money to spend. He's at 4,800, so he should realistically be buying his teammates something. He should be buying his teammates a Spectre and dropping it, or he should be buying some Deagles or something, right? There should be some there's a better way to financially like allocate the money. This is not how you do it. You can see here Johnny Bones has spent way too much money. Millie has spent way too much money. And Upjoe and Ganon have not spent enough.
When Ganon gets his op, we should probably play C from long.
So that's, yeah,
Can plant
that's
from long,
problematic.
Ganon utilizes op.
I think so far the only person who has bought correctly was...
Run the same entry. I'm gonna.
I don't know, actually.
I just watch for runouts.
Bro, make sure you watch behind the block.
Let me know when you want smoke.
Starting now.
Those smokes need to go. Smoke them, smoke them, smoke them. Throw both. Millie, if you're watching this, throw both of them at the same time.
I got blinded.
Yep. You're good.
Walk out. Let's not clear that.
What Connor close? Oh, we have to check that corner. My bad.
Good damage.
One to your right. Should be.
Heard.
Never mind that. I kept wrong.
Remember what we talked about, what we're trying to accomplish this round. You are supposed to do heavy casualties, heavy damage, which they did. But the problem now is this round,
That's my bad.
you have 2 players who don't have guns.
That's no. Me and Connor didn't check the corner, and she just got 3. We just need to look at the corner. Yeah, no, I didn't think they could break my TP. Is that a new thing?
Yeah, they can. That's not new. They always could.
Oh, who knew?
Okay. So here we've got problems. Let's talk about the money situation. This is your buy round. Round 3, since you won the first 2 rounds, your round 3 is your bonus round. You're supposed to bonus that shit. They don't bonus it, so now your buy is all over the place. This is a round you should basically have the upper hand in terms of firepower, or at least you should be even with the opposing team in terms of firepower. You guys are not. You guys have an outlaw. You guys have a bulldog. Johnny Bones gets a deagle, I'm pretty sure. Right. Right. This is...
Terrible. I think
I hope I hit tab at some point.
We default towards mid and see if they'll overextend.
Alright, sounds good.
Okay. So, again. Bad. This is not how you buy. I know Upjoe had money. Upjoe should be buying. He had money. He should have kept that Vandal or that Bulldog or whatever. That was the correct buy. Connor and Hayden messed up with the buy for buying on a round that you were supposed to lose. You're not supposed to invest in rounds you're not supposed to win.
Connor, you should take first pick of a gun.
So this kind of forces them to play quietly, calmly on their supposedly good round. Like this is the round when you're actually supposed to start playing the game, and they haven't started yet because they don't have the gun.
We don't really want to push that site. We're gonna get fucked. Do that. Yeah, we can slow rotate. We can play Afghanin here. He has a gun.
Yeah.
We're gun too.
Connor takes first pick off.
Hold this here.
That is a fantastic pick. The fact that they were still able to group and get that kill is good.
Gun.
So that's a gun. Ryan upgrades, which frankly he shouldn't be upgrading, he should already have a gun. The upgrade should go to someone who did not have a gun, like Hayden. Hayden should be getting that gun. Because that's the reset, that's what you're trying to fix the problem that you made, which is that Hayden had no money. Because he bought something he wasn't supposed to have. So that gun should have went to Hayden.
Flashing out the smoke. Okay.
Yeah. That was Phoenix.
This was brutal. The fact that he gets that many is just borderline insane. Hayden still has no gun. Still has no gun. I think Johnny Bones picks it up. Because he doesn't have a gun either.
Flashing out the smoke. Okay.
So realistically, at this point, at this stage in the game, Ganon dies, his gun drops back down to Yoru. Yoru has a gun. Hayden should have had Ryan's gun, the gun that Ryan picked up. Ryan should have already had a gun, and everyone would have had a gun by now. Millie should have had a gun by now. It doesn't cost them the round this time, but it absolutely can, and oftentimes does. Because when you screw your... Because remember, even though they still win this, their economy is still kind of busted, because Ganon bought a gun, and Ganon died.
You're back.
So now, they need to buy him a gun. Which they should be able to, because Ryan didn't buy a gun for some weird reason, so Ryan should be able to buy them next round. You gotta do this really, like, convoluted math, which is, frankly, is something that should never happen. You should just buy correctly.
Yeah, probably.
Again, I'm not blaming anyone. We did not have the chance to talk about economy yet. This is probably the first time I'm actually, like, discussing how the economy is supposed to go. But I'm really being aggressive about it, because this is something that you will incorporate in your game, and you will never ever stray from. This is a rule. This is not an exception. There's no exceptions to this. You buy like this. So, Johnny Bones drops the gun for a Vandal. That's fine.
I'm gonna
So everyone on this round, because you win your round 4, when you win your round 4, especially with that many men up, because they had 4 people still alive, economy should be booming. You should have so much money coming out of the wazoo, because what this confirms is you not only can lose this round, but you could still buy again and fight for the second round. You have 2 rounds chambered to win. If you look at your opponent's team, this was a round that actually kind of crushed their economy, because you did a lot of damage. So this is a round you should be financially way ahead of them. And you got to think about that, because that means that if your opponent somehow gets their hand on one of your guns because you play like an idiot and peek out and get killed and then they grab your gun, that is really bad. Because they have went from having no guns to having a gun. And if they use it correctly, they can kind of crack open the round a little bit more, because now they're on equal footing again. You don't ever want to fight equal. You don't ever want to fight fair. That's part of the game. Don't fight fair. It's dumb. If you have the advantage, why throw it away?
I'm gonna go
But here, everyone should have a gun. Yep, that looks good. Everyone should have full kit. Everyone should have heavy shields.
Reference, don't pop it like in like here, just because now they know we're having op.
Let me see Ganon.
They can hear it?
Okay, Ganon pops ult.
Yeah.
That's fine. But does Ganon have a gun in his back pocket?
I don't know.
Just it's fine. Just a heads up for like future.
He does not. Okay. He should. When buying an op, generally speaking, you want to have a secondary when you have this much money. Sometimes buying ops is like using a Chamber's op is an economy thing, where if you don't have a gun, everyone else has guns, you don't have a gun, you pop your ult, and basically you have a gun, right? Perfect. You guys have enough money that Ganon, this is a small thing, but Ganon should be buying like a shorty or something.
Yeah.
A shorty or a deagle, you know.
Maybe flash right away.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This is exactly what you don't want to do, by the way. Remember what I talked about. Financially wise, they are a gun down. Well, they're gun down. English. The opposing team has no money. But they do have enough capital to buy like a shotgun. They could probably afford a Bucky in Garage. They could probably afford a Deagle. They could probably afford maybe even a Judge if one of them is like frugal with their money, right? You don't want to give them that advantage where you're playing by yourself. This is if you don't understand economy, then this is just a gameplay that Connor is doing. But if you understand the economy, if you understand how money works, this is a bad play. Because you are effectively going up against someone in Garage in those close quarters where you lose your gun advantage. And then not only you lose your gun advantage, you are giving them a gun in the process.
Yeah. For the angle.
So this is kind of sketchy. I strongly, fundamentally disagree with this.
I'm gonna dart back.
Alright, remember, plant for long.
Put in my wall. Wall right.
Or CT.
Yeah. Good shot. Kill this guy. You know this guy is on site. Kill him. Why are we planting? Why aren't we killing him? Why aren't we killing him? You're making him hold 2 angles. Okay. In this situation, let's talk about this. Let's talk numbers, okay? Here, again, also one more thing. The smoke has to come out. Where's the smoke? Have it. Smoke CT has to be there. Upthrow gets a kill. Big kill. Gets traded out immediately. So, they have successfully killed the garage... Well, not the garage player. They successfully killed the C player. And in this elo, sometimes they put 2 on a site. Which, you know, does happen. So, you've killed the C player. At this point... Johnny Bones has killed the garage player. There is 1 person on C. The other 2 players are rotating from A. They have to be. Unless they stacked, which you really don't have to account for. If they stack, then you just shoot them all. But there is 1 player backside. You are 2 people. You need this guy gone because he's going to be a thorn in your side. If you don't, he is by himself. He is isolated. He can't get away because his teammates aren't there. You have 2-man advantage, util advantage. Go kill him. Go kill him. Just push him. Push him. At this entire time, don't plant. Just push him. Kill him. That guy is going to fuck you guys up if you don't kill him. Next time, go push and kill him. Before the Viper gets there, because the Viper just ran and got there trying to support this guy. If you just go and push the guy, the 1 player who is by himself backside on C, he dies. You've won the round. Right? That round is won.
My bad.
And then that has gone from... Okay, and then the plant... Don't plant there. This was fundamentally a mistake from these 2. And this is a learning process. You guys are learning how to play the game. Don't feel bad about this. You guys will be making a lot of mistakes. This is one of those cases where this is a very big mistake, and you don't ever want to do this again. So I'm going to make a big deal out of it. Okay? Kill the guy backside when he is isolated and by himself. You know, economy-wise, that they don't have good guns. Remember, this is why you always got to keep that economy thing in the back of your head. It becomes second nature to you. The economy. You have gun advantage. Look at the guns that they have. Even if they did buy, some of them may have been able to buy. You still want to crush that, because if you win this round, if they somehow economied their way into having guns this round, they're not going to have guns next round if you beat them, right? This is an important round that you absolutely have to win.
Alright, remember, plant for long, plant for long.
Put in my wall.
Let's talk about the guns that they had. If they had Vandals, fine. Whatever. I can't tell what that guy had. He had a Bulldog. He didn't even have a gun. That guy probably didn't have a gun. This guy doesn't have a gun. He has a Bulldog. I believe the Viper swings with no gun. I'm pretty sure the Viper had a pistol. Yeah, that's insane. And he's... Yeah, the Viper has a pistol. That's a deagle. They don't have a gun. Just kill him. So not only you are threatened, you can't plant in your normal default spot to a single guy who is isolated completely by himself, you are gonna begin to learn how people play defense, which is that there's going to be maximum 2 people C, 1 person garage. That is a heavy C defense. Almost, you basically never see that. That's like borderline like unheard of. But you will probably see a garage guy and a C guy. And sometimes that garage guy doubles up as the C guy, right? So normally you fight 2. In this case, you had to fight 3. That's fine. Just kill him next time. So you had the gun advantage, you had the man advantage, you had the space advantage, you had the timing advantage. You had every advantage to kill that guy, and you're not capitalizing. And that ends up screwing over the rest of the team for the rest of the round. And the reason why that's so bad is this round, which guaranteed you guaranteed had another buy next round. You are now investing into it, and now they have gun advantage equal next round. This was supposed to be the easy round. This was the round where you had the gun advantage. Next round, you're both going to have guns. So now that second round gets so much harder because you didn't crush them and play correctly on this round. That's what makes it so bad. Also, the plant was just not.
Not a good plan.
That was a good try from Gannon. He saw the foot.
My bad.
Yeah, just push him. I was like,
There.
jumping out of my chair. He saw the foot of the gecko. You're gonna, by the way, you guys will get good enough to the point where you can see the foot or the knee or the shoulder of a player, and you'll be able to identify what character it is.
My bad.
I'm gonna do a little example here. You just kind of glance at it. That's gecko, right? You'll get that. That comes with over time. That comes with skill. That will be more important the higher up you go, because you may only be able to see like the shoe of a character when they jump around the corner. Gecko wears like checkered khakis and like tennis shoes, so he has a very distinctive look when you see like certain parts of his body.
Not a good plan for you
I think
either.
they're diffusing.
Yeah, this is just cooked.
Flashing.
This was a good flash attempt, and this was as good of an attempt as he could have done, but
Damn, it looked like
yeah,
you
that's just over.
How much
Here you just saved the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I'm like dizzy on site.
Bad plant, bad play on site. That,
When we're planting for op,
yeah.
make sure you're planting.
Those kind of mistakes, well, you need to start fixing. And you will. Don't feel bad. You will. It happens to be that is such an egregious case of just really, really poor game plan. Just poor awareness. That I'm really exemplifying that so that way you become allergic to it and it never happens again. And then you'll improve. Right? So don't feel bad. You guys are learning.
Where you can stand all the way at the back.
Don't feel bad at all.
Do we need a timeout? Or...
Do we need a timeout?
We call
I was thinking all of this in the back of my head, but I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to explain what I just explained that entire process.
If not, then it was probably code.
Because they didn't know economy at this point. So my timeout I called was just like plant the post plant correctly. I'm pretty sure that's all I talk about. It's just hyping up
Oh, by the way.
and talking about planting correctly. So like where to plant. Let's discuss this round. So now you guys, oh, that's the taskbar. Where are we economy wise? So they were on a save, we were on a buy. We lost the buy. We lost against their save round, right? So what does this mean? Because we had money going in, because we did so well in the first 3 rounds. Remember, you get an advantage of 2.5 rounds if you win pistol, including the pistol. You win 2.5. That half, we're now using it, investing it now. Because now we are using all of our reserve money to make sure that everyone this round has a gun. Okay? So we bought slightly incorrectly round 4, but it's fine. We somehow managed to like make the money work for us. This round, this is the critical round because both teams have guns, both teams have shield, both teams have util. You have to start thinking like that. So this is a scary round.
Alright, sounds good.
Because this is the first round that this is the first round after the pistol round where both teams are even again. And everything always stems from those rounds that are even. So, pistol round was even, and then we had an advantage round 2. We had a disadvantage round 3. We had an advantage round 4. We had an advantage round 5. And now we are on round 6, which is our next even footing. And by the way, when you start calling, like, IGLing at a higher level, which you guys are basically right there. You guys are going to start calling like this from now on. You will start calling based off of economy. So for example, if you know that they're on safes, don't go garage. If you know that they don't have money to buy a gun and are probably buying a shotgun, don't go garage. Don't go short angles, go long angles. Right? Create distance, use your utility to push people away. Because they don't have util and gun manpower to fight back. You're going to start making strategic calls on places of the map because you're going to realize different parts of the map are good at different things. For example, if I knew that they were playing economy, you might consider just running down A long and just going from all 5 like down A long and not even messing with A short. Right? Because there could be a shotgun there. Right? You go back and clear it and like punch, like once you get sight, then you crunch them really quickly and just clear them out. Any stragglers. You might not go garage. You might just go straight C. You might not go B at all. Or maybe you might go B. Like, if you have short range weapons, maybe if you're the guy on the save and you're attacking, maybe go B because shorter ranges. Like use flash utility to close the gap, and then just stay and just ride around on B or ride around in garage, right? Or play farther up because you have closer range weapons. Once you get the site, keep going. There's a bunch of strategical things you can call based off the economy and based off knowing your opponent's economy and your own economy. Okay, so going back to this is the first equal round. This is a scary round.
Go away.
Yeah, Phoenix, go through short, and I say exit short with your ult.
Okay.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
Give me intel.
I'm waiting for your
Flashing out
entry,
the wall.
and then we'll come in. Yeah.
Flashing
Look close to the right. Yep, not there.
Nice.
Register that. So you saw the Omen throw the blind, right? You registered that there was a Omen in this link area, in this how do I erase? Where is it? Erase ability. I'm going to disconnect. Erase lines. So you saw that there is an opposing Omen here because he threw a blind like that, right? So that's something you should be registering in the back of your head as well. You saw the blind. Where are our smokes?
That's not a good TP.
You're good.
No. That is not where I meant to. I'll watch flank.
I have a chip back there.
I'll still sit.
And this is good. So now we are winning the one round that's even.
One's heaven. Right side of heaven. Don't worry about him too much right now where he's smoked off.
Yeah, this is good. So
CT.
the round that mattered, the scary round, we seem to be doing okay,
Back.
which is fine.
Solve this guy can't do anything.
Yep.
Get ready to run.
Good.
Good job.
Alright.
And the Gecko is going to survive because why? Think about it. Why would the Gecko survive instead of running and like jumping in the explosion and dying going into the next? Remember, this is what round? This is a buy round for both teams, right? So he probably had a gun. And because he had a gun and because he didn't really take any damage, he probably it's in his best investment to save the gun, which is what he did. You can start to see things. You will get a really good sense of this game at a higher level very, very quickly once you start incorporating economy into like player choices.
Good work. That was a good round. That was a good round.
Okay, so what does that tell us economy wise? They just lost their buy round. So where are they right now? They are in a credit deficit. I know I'm not really talking too much about the strategy. We'll just talk about economy right now. But economy is, you guys are at the point where we should start discussing economy. So we're gonna talk basically entirely about economy. When dealing with economy, you guys survived, won the round. You guys do not have double, you don't have the bonus, like the double loss bonus. There's no double loss, no double win bonus right now because you guys lost a round and now you guys won the round. So they are broke. The way that economy works in this game is there is a double loss bonus. If you lose 2 rounds in a row, you get a little bit more money than if you just lose 1 round in a row, right? And because you have the back and forth, somehow it made it so that you are very financially set in this game, at this very point in time. So you have the gun advantage, you have the money advantage, right? But there's one caveat which you have to be very, very considerate to, which is the Gecko. The Gecko survived, he has a gun. So there is 1 gun on the opposing team. And realistically, they are probably going to try to force with that gun. That is probably the smart thing to do. They are probably going to buy like shotguns, buy deagles, buy like heavier utility, like buy up a little bit to kind of match the Gecko's gun. Because he carried over a gun from the last round. So you have to be a little careful because you have the advantage, but the advantage is not a full save. The advantage is more like a full buy versus half buy kind of thing. Keeping that in mind, let's discuss about how you're going to push that, how you're going to tactically figure out how to play that. So you have figured out pretty well, pretty consistently that the Vito plays A. That is a pretty consistent thing. You hear the Vito play A a lot. You hear his little gremlin thing on A. You have not really encountered it at C, right? So you can make a pretty good adjustment and assessment that Vito is playing A. Who else plays A? What other character do you know who plays A? Well, you see the Viper play A every now and then, right? You see the Viper like peeking behind us, so you know the Viper is also playing, realistically gonna play behind A. You know that the Gecko, where does the Gecko play? The Gecko plays on C. The Gecko loves to throw the blind above the like mid-sight area. So you know that the gun is on C. You know that they're probably counter-forcing a little bit, and you know that two players who do not have guns are on the other side of the map of the Gecko. What should you do? And you also have gun advantage, so you want longer angles. And you don't want to go to a site that has really close angles, you want to go to a site that has really easy long angles. You want to go A. So, let's see what the call is made for this crew. Which site do they go?
Yeah, I think we can keep going.
Good call.
I have ult for this round.
I have my ult, but there's not really like.
Give Omen the bombs, and so if we need to pivot, we can TP to see or some shit with his ult.
Okay, Omen's ult doesn't work. Omen is a lot of people misunderstand Omen's ult, which is fair, and like who plays Omen? Omen's ult is used for grabbing stuff. It's not really useful for teleporting with stuff, right? You should always, it's generally a better idea to use Omen's ult reactively rather than proactively. Just by the sheer nature that he can recover someone's mistake. If he jumps somewhere and no one is there with him, he dies. I will say that when Omen has ult, it's actually a better idea for Omen never to carry the bomb. That is the one time he doesn't carry. I play Omen. I always carry the bomb. I'm always the guy who plants the bomb. But as soon as I get ult, the bomb goes to the initiator. Because if the initiator runs in and dies, and we decide, hey, we have Omen ult, let's go pivot. Then I could go in there, grab the bomb, and then we have a quick reset. Right? We can throw the bomb in with the wolves as a decoy, as a bait, and I can still retrieve that bomb. Right? You could also use this as an eco thing. Omen is fantastic if you guys are shooting on a save, and you're shooting someone, and you kill him, but the gun is too far away. Omen can just go grab that gun and come back, and now he has a gun for the save round. You use Omen a lot, Omen's ult a lot for retrieving stuff, and you use Omen's ult a lot for avoiding stuff. So if you're getting Killjoy ulted, you could TP out and then come right back. If you are getting Ray's ulted, well, not ulted, but like you wouldn't Omen ult, you would just TP, right? But he's very evasive when it comes to slow moving utility. So try using Omen's ult for retrieval as opposed to for proactive plays. You can use it proactively, but most of the time Omen's ult just sits in his back pocket until he sees a use for it, which right now there really isn't.
Or
Omen?
yeah, it's not really like that's not really the greatest thing to do though, but it can work if you know they're all on one site.
Hey, honey. Okay, so this is a good
I'm with you again.
round.
They're gonna know we're gonna come out.
I would be extra careful inside of short.
I'll find him first.
I would be extra careful. This is a really good investment of an ult.
On ping, close.
Flashing right.
Another one, two on here, on ping.
This is a good ult. Kill him. Where'd he go?
That's gone. Oh shit.
Yeah.
I think I
We need Omen smokes.
So watch that.
Two CT.
Heard.
One enemy remaining.
That's perfect.
Planting.
Nice. Oh.
Zero issues. Zero issues with that, the way that this round was played. This was perfect. They invested, like a lot of people have this weird, it's a little ick. I have an ick with this. It's a peeve of mine. When people don't invest ults in save rounds. Just because you have gun advantage doesn't mean you can't use your ult to secure the round. Secure it. It's not like Overwatch where some of the ults just win you just straight up fights. Ults in this game don't work like that. Ults in this game just give you that little boost to like push the round in your favor. They don't just all out win them, right? So investing your ult there was fantastic. That was good because they're on a save run. You know that there's going to be a rat playing short with the shotgun or something. I'm surprised he didn't have a shotgun. I'm surprised he actually had a gun. Flush him out. That was perfect. I have no issues with that. The only issue I have is the Phoenix Ryan trying to throw a flash when there's a veto thing.
He's gone.
no.
Jet's gone. Oh shit.
This bothered me.
An Omen too, so watch that.
Two CT.
Heard?
2 on here, on ping.
He's gone.
no.
Jet's gone. Oh shit.
I think I saw an Omen too, so watch that.
Two CT.
How did they even get blinded? What?
Another one, 2 on here, on ping.
If this is a different channel.
He's gone.
no.
Jet's gone. Oh shit.
How?
I think I saw an Omen too, so watch
Yeah, because it would have already popped by then. So they...
that.
Oh, they shoot the Yoru blind. The Yoru, clone. That's how they get blinded.
Heard?
I was like, how did they get blinded? Because Phoenix did not blind them.
Planting.
Nice. Oh,
That's one thing I need to drill in Ryan's head is when you're playing against that veto. Your shit don't work. Nothing works. Actually, that's not true. Your wall still works, but every other ability does not work.
Shit.
God, Gannon, you're like up there like Spider-Man right now. Holy.
Not great with April.
Oh, too fast. Okay. We are now on round 8. This is round 8. So, round 7, remember, we have gun advantage. We won. How many people? We had like 4 people survive. We had 4 people survive. Fantastic. Great. Whatever. This means that we now have built up enough of a bank that one of us, well, more than one of us, a bunch of us probably have money to buy 2 rounds in a row. Okay? This is just mindful to keep in the back of your head. But you also have to consider, hey, this is now an even round. If they saved, which they did, they now have... What did they have? They have guns. So now, all of a sudden, this A fight is looking a little bit less good. This should not have been an A fight. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because their Sentinel is there. You know that Vito plays A. You know that 3 people play toward A, which is the standard way that you're supposed to play A. Maybe create pressure and go some, like, a little bit of pressure A, but, like, don't hit A. You don't want to hit A, because the Vito will destroy you guys. Because unless you know exactly where that is and you can break that or bait it out or something, you can't just run in there and throw stuff, because none of the blinds, the throws, the mollies, none of it's going to work. So you're at a gun equal advantage. You are now going up against a Sentinel that could nullify you pretty well. You know that the Vito plays here. And you know that you're going to just be straight on 3v5ing gunfighting. With a disadvantage, because you're not going to have that much util. If... I would say at this point, going A is like a slightly losing fight. So you don't want to go A here. But they're going to go A anyway, and we're going to see how that plays out.
Careful on the... Again, to be careful on the exit.
I got you.
So here, they hear footsteps. They're already rotating over.
I'm gonna flash this door.
Flashing backside. Flashing one more time.
Hold on. Watch out, I'm blinding.
They hear the gecko thing.
One CT, one CT.
Not the gecko. I keep calling it the gecko. The Vito. This is not gonna... Dude, are you... Ryan! If you're watching this, please!
Oh fuck.
The Vito thing doesn't... That's the whole point of it.
And left side. If you guys want to rotate out.
Also, the reason why I'm explaining the economy in the background is Val can feel very inconsistent at times. If you just keep hitting A, it's like, oh, it's working, it's working, it's working. Why did it stop working? This is why it stopped working. You are going up at a gun disadvantage, not a gun disadvantage, a gun equivalent advantage with, against a utility disadvantage, right? That is why you lost. So, the correct thing to do here was to not have gone A at all. You just should not have touched A. There was very little point going A. Like, this round is already over. I don't know why you pulled out your pistol, and I don't know why that worked.
Nice try.
No, you're good. You're good.
3 bullets with a Phantom is still more firepower than a Classic.
What was just a bad entry? We didn't get on site. I don't know, like... Every round, bro, I kind of just, like, watch you go in. I don't really know how to walk through all that smoke without just getting shot in the head. They're like,
he's getting shot down because there's a sentinel thing that you're not that's kind of his whole thing. It's like it's supposed to make it hard for you to get on top. Okay, that's fine, whatever. So now for the first time, I think this is the first time in the entire game that they are actually at an economy disadvantage. So because the opposing team won the round with a decent amount of people alive, both teams can buy. So they're financially they're pretty equivalent, but the opposing team has a financial boon. They could buy 2 rounds in a row as opposed to just 1 round in a row. So we are now at the money disadvantage. Okay? So at this point, the first thing that should come into your head, hey, if you're on defense and on Haven and you are at a economy boon right now, right, against your opponent, what gun do you buy? Right? Think about it from the opponent's perspective. We now have money. Because we like 4 of us survived our buy round. We now have money that, hey, we can buy no matter what next round. We got that bank loan like well taken care of. We've got our like Roth IRA signed and everything. We got money for next round. Don't worry about next round. Since we're doing so well financially, what should I do? What should I be buying? What is the smart thing to do on a round when both teams have a gun advantage, same gun advantage, and you're on the verge of breaking your opponent's economy? What do you invest in? What is the one thing that they're thinking, if we could use this weapon to win this round, we are going to guarantee not just win this round, but basically we're going to win 2 rounds instead of just 1 round, because we're going to break their economy and then they're going to have to save 1. So that's 2 rounds in a row. What do we buy? You buy an op, right? It's not rocket science. It may seem like complete magic if you don't understand economy, but since I'm, we're taking step-by-step processes, you should be able to piece together, hey, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. They're going to have an op. What is a smart thing to do on our team? Remember, we are now at a gun slight disadvantage. We know that their veto plays A. We know that they're probably going to buy an op. We should not be going down long choke points, right? We should really be considering going down short choke points, because we can't push the op on A, because the op on A has veto, so we can't blind the op. The op is just going to be holding us because we can't blind him, because the veto thing is going to go off, right? We probably shouldn't go C, because that entire choke point down C is on op territory, right? Let's think a little bit about here. We probably should not go C, because C has an op, and that's big and scary, and there's nothing we can really do about it. We should go B. B is the relatively close-angled one. This is the relatively close-angled fights. Op is not that big of a threat, and it's really hard to retake B with an op. There's no veto. We don't have to worry about the veto snuffing all of our utility. And since we are at technically a gun disadvantage, because they're probably going to have an op, it makes sense to go B, because then it's a 4v5, because they can't really utilize the op on B. The only thing that you'd have to be worried about is like flashing this first corner, right? As long as you flash this first corner and you run, and you like somewhat patrol garage, you're good. So the correct call here is, this is what the IGL has to be able to identify and respond to and think about. The IGL should be thinking, hey, what should I do? We're gonna go B. That is the only logical solution. Now, as you get higher and higher at the levels, different players will catch on that. So for example, if I was on the opposing team right now, I would position my op on B. Because that is the only logical thing to do. It makes sense for your team to go B. So I'm going to position my op toward B and then move it toward C. Right? So I'd start this really early choke point on B, maybe stand on top of this, get a cheeky off angle. I'm going to start on B, op with B. No one's on B, I rotate. I pivot out to C. Because we're already holding down A pretty well. They can't really get on A. And C is right next door. Right? I'm just going to pivot, go from B to C. And then I'm just going to double up with the C player and the garage player. And we're good. Right? It also gets to like roles of who should have the op and whatnot and where they should play. But I digress. So that's a bit too complicated for where we are right now. Basically, all you need to know At this point in the game, you should be going B. And at this elo, you should really be going B because nobody is thinking about what I'm just explaining. Nobody is at that level yet. Like, nobody's thinking like this. So let's see where they go.
If I'm peeking, they're looking at me, so you gotta push them behind me and trade me if I die.
You can both go out of the smoke. Chances are they're gonna both.
Are they gonna go B?
The person
Yeah.
who comes out first. So you're like backup. Are we thinking B or C this time?
So we can try B.
Because we could.
Try B. I love to hear that.
We can buy an op and go C.
Hayden's thinking! He's thinking!
One's B already.
Alright.
Yeah, it's smoked off. I think we pivot to C here. Go through garage.
Alright, your garage. Alright.
I don't know about the pivot, boys. It was just one dude. Fuck him up! Fuck him up!
Flashing high on site.
Smoking CT.
Everybody
That was a
through,
bad
everybody
smoke,
through.
or is
One CT, one CT, one CT.
That's fine.
I'm playing.
This works. Okay, they got out. That's fine. That smoke is very deep. That is a very bad smoke. Recognize that, Millie. Recognize it.
Play from back. Does somebody want to play from long?
They need to play further back.
Play ult, yeah, yeah. Good call.
That is insane that it hit nobody.
CT, 3 CT.
I'm gonna play post if you can just stall time at all. Yeah, Joe, we're gonna need that.
This was actually a good attempt.
Do some shit here.
This was a very good, like, pivot attempt. Yeah, that was fine.
Nah, you're. Alright, it's fine.
You're good.
That was fine. I still disagree. I think they should have probably kept on going B.
I wouldn't have swung with the Silva ult, probably.
But, I will say that just for the game plan that they had, that was fine. You need to play more people post-plan. Because you gotta think about this, right? Let's think about it. At this point, they all are playing upside. It's 4v4. You're supposed to, at this point, you got one in garage. You got a bunch of people on site. The smoke is messed up. So step number one, actually don't mess up the smoke. Because since they messed up the smoke, the opposing team can just, like, look over the smoke and figure out what's going on, right? If that smoke was good, if the smoke was correct... Hold on, this thing's buffering. I'm not sure if it's dead or not. I'm hoping it's just my phone being dumb. Hold up. Yeah, there you go. It's fine. What was I gonna say? If the smoke is good, then they invest a bunch of ults. They have Gecko ult. They have Vita ult. They have... Well, frankly, it's just Gecko. But they have Get Back on C utility. Two people should be playing off. One, and the other person should realistically be doubled up in garage and just let them waste utility. The fact that all three of us play really far up here is borderline insanely dumb. There's no point for us to fight this close, because we need to play post-plant. We need to stall the timeout. We're trying to win the round, not get kills. So this was kind of troll.
I'm gonna play post.
Ganon was the one player who, I guess, was fine, because he could have gotten out. But everyone else, like, no.
You can just stall time at all.
Also, Ryan getting clocked here, I don't know how he gets clocked.
I can play ult, yeah, yeah. Good call.
Oh, he pulls out his util. Why? No, Ryan, just hold the gun.
CT.
He pulls out the wall. Just hold it. That's such a weird spot to be in. If he had his gun out, he just wins that fight. Okay, that's why I'm misplaying that. So there's a few factors that lead into this round's destruction. First up, smoke. That is bad. I should. We discussed about how to smoke later. Again, I feel really bad saying this because Hayden is learning how to play smokes. He's been playing smokes for like 2 days. He's still learning. Okay, no. Oh, I'm the only person who's allowed to be mean to Hayden about it because he's still learning. But smoke needs to be fixed.
I can play ult, yeah, yeah. Good call.
Don't wall. They don't know where you are. Look at how long he lives too. That's painful. Just hold it.
From back. Does somebody want to play from long?
I can play.
He's actually in a good spot. If he just holds it, just hold it, just hold it. Why did he do that? He lives for so long too. The Omen was not ready for that fight. That Omen just dies.
I'm gonna play post if you can just stall time at all.
That smoke being good makes it so that our Omen survives. Like this round should have been won. Like looking at it on paper, they played the opposing team. Utility was so just not it.
Nah, you're. Alright.
If Omen survives, the Gecko ult just TPs out. One way's the smoke, one way's the bomb. Ryan survives, gets the kill, draws pressure to garage, and the other two just get off, they just win. Chamber pokes, runs away. They just win.
It's fine.
Okay, so let's go back and talk economy. My nose is beginning to get really congested again, so it's really hard to say stuff. Let's talk about economy. That round should have been a win. On paper. You guys had a good game plan. You guys just fucked the post plan a little bit. So what does that mean? Well, remember, they already cashed in their Roth IRAs. They are financially stable. So they are, and they survived. Three of them survived again, which is very good for their economy. So at this point, they have enough money to basically buy all, they could buy next round. Realistically, they could buy the round, well, after that. And even if they lose, if they save a little bit, if they're a little bit smart about it, they could survive the round after that. So round 9, round 10, round 11. They are going to be fine. Right? They might pivot. So worst case scenario, they lose. I'm not going to try to make the middle finger. So they lose, they save, and then they go into the 12th round with a buy. They are going to be able to buy 3 out of the 4 rounds. UPJ, on the other hand, MCE, is now in a problem where going into round 9, you cannot buy. You're going to have to save round 9. Buy round 10. If you lose, save round 11. Force buy round 12. So we are now at a disadvantage economy-wise. We are only going to be able to buy 2 more rounds. So unless we play incredible, we've got one more, a total of 2 more rounds in the chamber. So the best we can realistically do here is probably a 7-5. Why is my camera doing that? The best we can do here is realistically a 7-5. And the best that they could do is a full comeback, 5-7.
I wouldn't have swung with the Silva ult.
And it's looking a little bit more likely because they have more chances, because they have more guns. They have more chances to make that 7-5 a reality.
I didn't ulti.
Or 5-7 a reality.
Swung and got
So this is scary. Because now this is a save.
instead of ulti. Didn't know if I'd have enough time, so I was trying to I don't know, kill somebody, but probably better to just
It's
wait.
fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it too hard. Alright.
I will say one thing. B is a little bit scary if you don't have quick smokes. The whole thing that makes B work is you smoke off A-Link and C-Link. If you cannot smoke A-Link and C-Link while doing the ECAC, you're kind of cooked. So I will say that. For hitting B. You gotta be good with the smokes.
What side are we thinking? A again, or?
One
I think-
try B.
So let's talk here. Economy-wise, do we have a buy?
B is fine,
He has a buy.
but post plant, we have to fucking spread out, or we're gonna get pinned in there and all that.
Yeah.
Economy-wise... Oh, well, force buying. We somehow have enough money.
Try B.
So we somehow had enough, cash in the chamber.
Alright, for
Which is
post
good.
plan, I'm thinking
But now this is a last stand kind of situation then. So what this means then, this is actually kind of a little bit unfortunate. What this means is if you lose this round, you move on to round 10 as a save. And then you have to force buy round 11. And then if you lose round 11, then you're in tatters for round 12. Because round 12 is the last round of the half. So basically, if you want to get any more points on the board, you have to win this round. This is a do or die kind of round, economy-wise.
we should have at least one courtyard and then at least one on either side. One's in garage. Be careful of that.
Let's go.
Body
Go,
way.
go, 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 go. Get those smokes out.
Pivot. We can leave that.
Oh, they're doing another pivot. They love this pivot play.
I think back through spawn because there's one holding that.
Still
Garage.
window, he's still window.
What's the game plan? Why are we scattering?
I'm with you, Hayden.
We need to go together, Connor.
Oh, what's going on? Why are we not talking to each other?
One's back
Gecko's
C. Gecko back
C.
C.
C site. Yeah,
Yeah, we know Gecko Seaside. That's a good comp.
Gecko's on C site.
Good comp. This is a bit more of an advanced thing. Instead of saying Gecko is C, you will say Gecko is still C. Because at this point, you guys should have been able to recognize, hey, Gecko kind of always plays C. So that you should, instead of it being a new fact of data, it should be a reconfirmation that the Gecko is still there.
Do you have a dart?
I'm gonna flashing backside.
That Phoenix flash was way too shallow. Shoot it!
Flashing CT again.
Stop throwing! Ryan, I am gonna kill this guy. Oh, Dad.
Flashing backside.
Dude, I love this guy, but holy. What the hell? He sees it!
Flashing CT again.
What are you doing, buddy? Shoot it!
Backside.
Shoot it! Oh no.
Somebody watch cross.
I don't even know what happened. I wasn't paying attention. I just saw him look at it and then throw the Phoenix Molly anyway. What happened?
Flashing CT again.
Backside.
Okay, they got a trade. Smokes. What was the situation with? I think Hayden just threw this. Yeah, okay. That's just smoke going down.
Can give a
I love my team. They're so funny.
Flashing backside.
Yeah, that Phoenix flash definitely bounced on the box.
can give a dart.
Next time, Ryan, throw it a little bit farther. So you see, notice how the curve goes and then it hits the box and curls around. That means it didn't blind anything. It hit this and bounced like that, monk, and crawled up. So it would have blinded anyone in this corner, but anyone who was standing like logs or anything, it wouldn't have blinded them. Yeah, please. That's so. I can't believe he did that. I actually can't believe he did that. Oh no. You have to trade. The smoke going down is just unfortunate. That's fine.
Garage.
Let's see here.
Blinding backside.
I can drone.
Okay, Ganon just gets caught.
Somebody watch cross.
Ganon should have taken his time. This is gonna be a look thing for him. I don't know if I'm gonna have Ganon playing Sentinel or not. We'll have to figure that out. But if you do, whoever is going to be playing Sentinel, whenever you look up late garage, this is a Haven trick thing. You look up after the bomb is planted. Never, ever, go before, because people are watching before. Remember, bomb hasn't gone down. They're all waiting around, waiting for something to happen. They're gonna be holding shit. As soon as the bomb goes down, they have a new objective. What's the new objective? The new objective is for the defenders to go and defuse the bomb, right? So you want to catch them while they're in the process of trying to go and defuse the bomb, because now there's a timer. There's a 40-second timer. They gotta actually go and make something happen. There is zero pressure. Well, not zero, but there's little pressure for the defenders to really do anything until the bomb is planted. So, this is a game knowledge thing, but this would have helped you survive if you had known this going into this. Wait, don't go into garage, just wait until,
Backside.
like here, that's fine. Just wait until bomb goes down. Like, you should be outside of garage right now.
I can drone.
You should not be in here. Because instead of you going in and clearing stuff and walking around, you want to catch them doing that. You want them to be jumping out of garage and like going towards site and clearing stuff. And then you walk in and you shoot them in the back of the head. That's what you want to happen, right? Waiting gives you the opportunity to do that. Going early does not give you the opportunity to do that, because they are the ones holding, not you. As soon as bomb goes down, the roles reverse. You are now the one holding, not them.
Somebody watch cross.
Two garage.
Two coming CT.
Fuck.
One more garage, I think.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, one's garage.
Davis really likes playing this angle. This is a hard angle.
Let's CT.
I would absolutely, in this situation here,
Somebody watch cross.
Two garage.
they kill the garage player, and all three of them, like,
Fuck.
just, especially since Millie gets two, just all three of you guys book it long. You've got not Phoenix, you've got Sova ult, right? You've got a one-way, right? Omen smoke one-way. You've got a Phoenix flash. You've got full kit to defend this bomb. Just all of you guys just run long.
One more garage, I think.
Just run long. There should be a scream in the call, just going run long, go long, go long, go long, go long.
One's garage.
Because that's a Phoenix ult, not a Phoenix ult. That's a Sova ult. That is a win con at this point. You back up, you Sova ult, you win the round. Like, single-handedly at that point.
Oh shit.
Backing
Go
out, backing
CT.
out.
One more.
I'm holding it.
Hayden has the right idea.
Yeah.
Just one way it. One way it. I don't think Hayden knows the one way.
Oh fuck.
That's fine, one way it.
Right here, to the right.
You can.
He doesn't know about the one way, that's fine. Next time you play Haven, one way it. So there is just a simple smoke. It's really straightforward. You smoke on top of the box like that. And then the smoke, because it's round, it droops down, and then it covers the opposing team's head. So they when they're defusing, their head is inside the smoke, so they can't see anything. Yeah.
Nice.
I like that. Well,
Never, ever, ever, as the defender, smoke the bomb, by the way. Don't smoke the bomb. If you're the one trying to defuse the bomb, then smoke the bomb. Smoking the bomb is the best thing that you could do for defusing the bomb. But if you are the one trying to hold the bomb, never, ever, ever smoke the bomb. That is the most troll thing that you can do.
sound manipulation going on. Okay.
Anyway, you guys win the round. Little messy. Not at all what you should have done, but it works.
Okay.
After Millie got 2, there was no point in you guys sticking around on side. You guys just there was like less than 20 seconds left on the clock. Silver ult would have killed everything. You had one way, you had a flash, you had a full kit to just fuck them up. Because you win that round, you have money for this round, but unfortunately, you do not have money for next round. Okay? So, at this point in the game, we're still talking economy. At this point in the game, you guys have full buy for round 11, which is this round. If you do not win this round, next round is going to be a weird round. Next round is realistically going to be, assuming you lose, is going to be a scrabble together whatever rounds you can, like whatever gun you can buy. Never mind the fact that I know I have a crap ton of laundry just sitting on my chair. I'm working on it. I've been sick. You want to... This is a very critical round to win. It is a very critical round to win. It's borderline a critical round to save as well. If you lose too many players, if the hit doesn't go well, you pivot, you just wait it out and go to next round. That is a very financially viable thing to do on this round because it makes sense. No more else to say. I don't even know what I'm gonna say on this timeout. Let's get it.
Cheating.
Okay. Going back to the round.
Here we go.
I do have my ult.
Okay, so here, the opposing team should have figured out by now. Their A site is their strong site. They need a better communication, a better strategy for retaking C and B. I don't know I forget what they did to accommodate that. But basically, all you need to know is I'm pretty sure the only thing that they did was buy an op and put it on C. Because if I was their coach and I was in their ear talking about this strategy, I have identified we have won almost every A defense. Our A defense is fantastic. Our B defense is unsure because we don't know, because MCE are a bunch of pussies and don't actually hit B. They see as soon as the smokes go down, they pivot towards C. So we don't know. I'm advocating for devil's advocate. We don't know what MCE is doing because they have never hit B. But what we do know is every time they pivot C, we suck at the retake. So what we should do instead is we should hunker down a guy, maybe garage with a shotgun, maybe C with an op. That's what I would be thinking. And keep everything else the same. Just invest some money in an op, invest some money in a shotgun on B, and just in garage, and just anchor those spots. Depending on how much money they have. If they have money, buy an op. If they don't have money, buy a shotgun. Like, that's the game plan. That's the only thing I would change. I still think the right play here for MCE is definitely go B. We have not tested B. We don't know how good their B defense is. We don't know how quickly, like how they rotate and how they utilize garage and all of that. We don't know because we've never hit it. And it's toward the end of the round that even if it is something special or something unique or something crazy, it doesn't matter, right? Because we've already tested our A. Based off that based off of the tactical timeout, realistically, they're going to do some kind of change on C because they are getting destroyed on C. They're getting absolutely annihilated on C. They're going to change something on C. They're probably going to keep the same thing on A. And we are going to lose A if we go A. Realistically, we don't know what they have in store for C. But their pivot is probably going to be towards C. Their weak side is going to be B. Hit B. That's the smart thing to do. Financially, that's the smart thing to do. Strategically, that's the smart thing to do. All of these rounds. Go B. So, we'll see how our A hit goes.
Immune to, like, and all abilities. He's immune to molly, he's immune to flashes, everything.
Try to bait out Vito's orb.
It takes me a while to
Heard. What's that?
This is a good call. Bait out Vito's orb. That is a fantastic call.
Aggressively.
Bro, let me draw. Let me draw.
Watch.
They actually moved the Viper.
Watching CT.
They actually just fully moved the Vito C. That was their game plan.
Dead seven.
Oh,
Dead seven.
why do we not have a heaven smoke?
One CT, one heaven.
Ooh.
One heaven, yeah, one CC, one heaven.
One enemy
Last
remaining.
CT.
Why do we not have a heaven smoke?
Nice.
How do we win that? Okay, so their strategy. This is not at all what I would have done if I was their opponents. They definitely should have invested in a shotgun in garage and just called it a day. That is all they need. If they just got a guy with a shotgun and C, right, and like repositioned better, then they would have just been fine. And they should have kept the same A defense. But instead they gamble because they're like, oh, they know our A defense is good. We're gonna gamble. We're gonna move the A to we're gonna move the Vito somewhere else. That was the wrong call. I don't know why they did that. It worked out for us. I'm not complaining, but that was definitely not the right thing to do.
Smoked and I didn't, so low key, I'm sorry. I feel
You're
at
good,
fault
you're
for
good,
your guys'
you're
death.
good, you're good.
He did. He definitely is. That's correct. He definitely is. But whatever. So now they are financially even. I'm pretty sure that this is going to be a force bonus from the opposing team because they just don't have money for this round.
Six, seven.
I still strongly disagree with the A hit. That was if there were that they got so lucky strategically with that working out for them. That is borderline insane.
There's
Cannon,
also
you have
better
your ult
for
too.
Because they could have fixed the C problem so easily with just a gun or like a reposition. They did not need to remove Vito from A because Vito was working magic on A.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be-
That was troll.
Go to garage.
So here, what they should do is move Vito back to A and run a proper defense on C, which would include a shotgun on inside of garage, preferably a judge, and then some kind of op backside C.
Dan, if you and like somebody else want to go through,
And then
help me
keep the float on B,
Play C long.
playing B and A as well.
I'm gonna ult into garage. I mean, I'm gonna flash.
there.
Alright,
I can.
just watch.
The fact that the Gecko does not buy an op here is just...
though.
I mean, they don't have money for it, I guess. So this last round is kind of a wash. So we'll see how this goes.
Window.
One on ping here. One CT two.
I spectate Ryan here.
CT.
What the fuck?
Okay, good trade. No, don't bother.
I'm slow pushing through CT.
They're there. I think. Right. Oh, he's gone.
Trade.
Where's the other one?
He's probably behind you.
You can plant though. He can hold you from long with all.
Alright, yep.
The fact that Hayden doesn't watch anything walking out there is a little bit concerning.
Where's the
His crosshair should be 180 degrees behind him.
I know.
This tuck was actually, this instinctive tuck to go in while reloading is good. That's what you're supposed to do. But he should still be looking the other way. He should still be 180 degrees looking at CT.
You can plant though. He can hold you from long with all.
And then here, that pivot should go from CT to maybe garage.
Go back long, go back long.
This is fine. This also works. This is fantastic.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
And I remember it from this point. He plays incredible. He just, yeah, pops him.
For you if they're running up long or
Very good. So, let's discuss economy. It resets now, remember? So now that the half is over, economy resets. So let's go back to our flowchart. Let's go back to the beginning. What do we start with? We start with the pistol. The pistol is an even round for both teams.
something and I'll give you
So you should be buying a ghost with as much util as possible.
but just make sure you give me a shout because
I'm gonna put a chip on garage so you don't go watch that.
Actually, Deagle on Sova for defense actually kind of makes sense. A little bit. That's okay. That's okay.
Oh, by the way, Ganon, you should probably can you hit heads well?
Crazy question.
I was gonna say instead of a ghost, you might want to invest in your headhunter. I think it's called.
Ghost is better, that's fine.
I feel better with a ghost though.
Okay, I feel that.
Gannon normally doesn't play Chamber, by the way. I was just having him play Chamber because of the trip. And he doesn't know how to play any other, like, Sentinel character.
I'll see.
Yeah, they walled
I'll
garage.
see.
I'm gonna go flank.
I have to run a bit.
Yep, he's right on the blue side.
Okay. One logs.
Vito's hit 60.
I'm really curious to see what happened here, how he took 13 points of damage.
I'm gonna go flank.
That dart was unfortunate, because that dart is what you need. Oh, my nose. I hate how congested I am right now. That dart is your one ticket. It's your golden ticket to get back on the site. He lost it. First things first, you shouldn't be throwing that anyway.
I have to run a bit.
He should not have thrown it, because that's retake utility. Sova... there's very little point in having Sova on C. C defense, Sova doesn't make sense. Because, what does he have? He has a drone, which it doesn't do him anything. He has shock darts, which really doesn't do him anything. He has scan, which I guess if you shoot at the very beginning of the round, you might be able to see if they're coming C a little bit faster, but it's such a long down corridor that you could just, like, jump peek it and see. It's no biggie. There's really no point in playing Sova on C. He doesn't provide a single point of value. Not one. He provides a lot of value on A, but he doesn't really provide value on C. So, and also his kit is just designed better to retake C anyway. So there's no point in playing Sova on C. Sova should be A. He's basically the best A anchor character. I can't think of any other reason to play him anywhere else. This was kind of troll from Gannon. He tried to put a TP up and gets caught out, which is crazy.
Vito's hit 60.
Millie gets poked out. That was he's gonna have to drop down for this.
50.
From back plat.
Back in the corner.
I'd be careful logs at this point.
Fuck. On your right. I
On
think.
hard right.
Oh wait, yeah.
Can't look away from that.
I'm fucked.
The fact he lives that is actually insane.
That's time.
Yeah.
Nice try.
So,
Let's try. Let's try.
My B. I
we are now going down the other path. So, round one, we won the pistol. So that means we won the second bonus. So here, we lost the pistol, which means that we now, what? We now full save. There is 0 point in doing anything else other than full saving. This is an automatic loss. This round is an automatic loss. The only thing I might suggest doing is buying a shorty and sitting in garage. The best thing you can do here, and this is something I always used to tell the old MCE team whenever I used to play with them. On the bonus round, this is technically not the bonus round, this is called the anti-eco round. On the second round, any damage is good damage. You will hear me say that a lot on this round. Any damage is good damage. The whole point this round, you are supposed to do damage. You're not trying to win the round anymore. This is the round where you go and you try to get your one, and you get a bunch of damage, and you play something absolutely stupid and get away with a shotgun in a stupid corner. This is the round to do that. This is the round where you don't really care too much about whether you win the round or lose the round. This is the round where you become a psychopath. This is the round where you become a menace.
Yeah.
Any damage is good damage.
You can't
Round two. You lose, you go to round two, any damage is good damage.
Flash is weird compared to other characters. Since we have classics, play close angles. I would not. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Okay, we should not be buying a deagle. You got maximum 1 kill last round. We should not be buying a deagle. We should not be buying a specter. Oh, he dropped it. I need to talk to this kid. Why does he have a molly?
I'll play more back then.
Try to survive them.
They're here.
Yeah.
Coming A.
Because he's not gonna. The problem with buying a deagle and buying this is you just can't. You screw your buy over for the actual important round, right? You eat all your Halloween candy before Halloween, is what you're doing. Doesn't even get a kill.
Oh fuck. Yo, I did 104 to Viper.
He try. I need to get.
Connor.
I need to get Connor used to shooting Gecko flashes and Reyna flashes. Reyna flashes? What was the other flash you have to shoot? I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh,
Anyway.
I'm waiting for you. You're here with me.
Yeah, they're all on site.
Any damage is good damage.
Yeah, so take that.
Any damage is good damage. You fight, you hold, you rat, you do anything to get damage. Any damage is good damage. The fact that we get none, by the way, is horrible. Because that means they basically just have full straight carryover from this round to the next round. Right? Nobody has to rebuy a Deagle, nobody has to rebuy a Spectre, nobody has to rebuy anything. They just buy shields again and then just go.
They end free extremely fast.
This is one of those rounds that you don't worry about dying. Dying, surviving is not that important. You just go there, you be the guy, and you hit as many shots as you can. Even if you break someone's shield, that's good. Don't run.
Keep that in mind.
The only exception to that, there is an exception to that, where on the second round, after you lost, on the second round, you clip someone. You absolutely, like, destroy someone. And then you could grab their gun. And all of a sudden, now that you have that upgraded gun, the Spectre, you are now a threat. Okay? You still go for more damage. You always are in the mindset, damage, 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 do more damage. If you clip 2, and then you get a gun for your buddy, then all of a sudden you start trying to win the round. Because all of a sudden, you're up 2, you have 2 guns, it's all of a sudden winnable. There's a switch in the brain that changes it from, hey, any damage is good damage. That makes no sense anymore because you're up 2, you have 2 guns. Now you try to win the round, right? But for the most part, going into that round 2 loss, you always want to think any damage is good damage. Any damage is good damage, right? Jump and right click someone point blank with your classic, right? That's good. That's valuable. It's more valuable than like trying to play strategic and then getting your head taken off.
Do you have bullets with your headhunter purchase? Okay.
This round is the opposite though, because now we are at the gun advantage. Or at least Ryan, at least we're supposed to be at the gun advantage. So this is a tragic buy. So what this tells me is Hayden and Jordan. Not Jordan. Hayden and... What the fuck am I looking at? Actually, hold on. What is this? Hayden and Connor didn't buy correctly the previous round. They should have plenty of money to buy a full shield. This also tells me, because you gotta remember, they're playing against Stingers, Spectres. You need that extra 25 health. That's important. Upjo is just dumb. He dropped the Spectre. You're not legally allowed to call your players dumb. That's hurtful. I know this guy, and he knows I like to poke fun at him all the time, and I will. Ryan, what the fuck? Even at this point though, at this stage of the game, you still full buy. This is just supposed to be your buy. I know he's buying a Stinger, which is fine. That's what he did. Buy a shield. Buy shield, buy your kit. Okay? At least be a threat. Try to get as close as you can to the rest of your team, economy-wise. Ganon buys full headhunters, which I strongly disagree with. He should forget about the headhunters. Buy a gun. How much money did? Like, I'm sure he may have had to nickel and dime that. Maybe he bought something on round 2, which he wasn't supposed to have bought. Like, don't even buy trip round 2. Like, there's no point. Just gun. Classic. That's it. So here, Ganon should have a gun. Johnny Bones and Millie should have full shield. Upjo should have a shield and full kit. Maybe he could have gotten a shotgun or something. I would say buy a shotgun instead of a Stinger and just sit in short and be a menace. Because that's such an off thing to have. that maybe you could catch someone off guard. It's like, why does this is a buy round? Why does he have a shotgun? You know, if they're aware, then they know that he had a stinger for some reason, a Spectre the last round for some reason. But maybe someone wasn't paying attention. You know, buy a shotgun and just sit.
Put a chip on B.
So this is a bad buy for us. This is normally supposed to be us here, economy wise, them here, right? We're supposed to have an advantage. This round now is like way closer because we don't have full shields. We don't have. Yeah, this drone you don't have to drone there. Just jump peek it.
110 in garage.
Yeah, Gannon not having a gun there is just tragic because he loses.
Multiple moving through garage. Watch your garage side.
Yeah, and then we lose a gun. This is cooked.
Flashing out the smoke.
That is just such a bad buy. Walk out.
One's in garage somehow.
He goes
One's
at
garage,
TP.
yeah.
This is a good TP.
Nice, last garage.
Vito's garage.
Come CT.
They're CT at this point, yeah.
Oh, there's people here. There's people here.
He almost wins this too. That's the crazy part.
Oh, close.
My bad.
Nah, that was a good try.
That's close.
Aiden actually hit a lot of shots. But this is like, look at how close that round was. Look at how down to the wire it came. If you have a gun, that offset that makes it really close gets bigger. And that should have been a round that you won and not a round that we threw. So, does strategy matter? Yes. Does mechanics matter? Yes. Does game sense matter? Yes. Does movement matter? Yes. Does team play matter? Yes. Does comms matter? Yes. Does coordination matter? Yes. Does strategy matter? Yes. They all matter. But economy is something that you should be doing instinctively in the back of your head, just naturally correctly. Which makes it so instead of having to do all of this, I know I'm off my camera, instead of doing all of this around, you now only have to do that much around. Right? Instead of all buying correctly does is make it so that you win the rounds you're supposed to win more often. Right? You're not supposed to win every round, but if you buy incorrectly, you will never win a round. Or at least you will always be putting yourself at a disadvantage every round. Buying correctly makes it so that you actually have an advantage on the rounds you're supposed to have an advantage, as opposed to always being at either a disadvantage or neutral. That's all buying correctly is. So, I definitely think the main lesson of today, of next practice. Next week we have a bye, so I gotta go home from school early. But next week we have a bye, so we're gonna use our time for practicing just to make sure that people know how to buy. Buying is so important, and I know that it's my fault for not getting to it sooner, but we just frankly, getting you guys up to speed was way more important than making sure you know how to buy. Buying is optimizing, not really learning proper fundamental stuff. It's one of those cases where it's like, if you're learning how to be a tennis player, I'm not going to buy you an expensive tennis racket. That makes no sense. I'm going to buy you a cheap tennis racket so you actually get the forms right and play correctly. But once you know how to play tennis, once you know how to hit a forehand, once you know how to hit a backhand, once you know how to hit a serve, all that stuff, once you know how to do all of that, it's time to buy you an expensive tennis racket. Because everyone uses an expensive tennis racket. Everyone uses a high quality tennis racket. Right? There's no... It's one of those things that it just puts you on a level playing field. Economy is like that. Knowing how to use the economy will not make you a better player. It just gives you more opportunities to make you a better player. Right? It makes it fair. It makes you lethal. So now that's the order that we're going in. You guys mechanically look pretty sound. I know that there are some whiffs in there. Everyone whiffs. Even the best of the best, they whiff around 70% of their shots. That is normal. 70. So you guys are already hitting that percentage in your game bracket. Against your opponents, you guys are hitting shots. Right? I'm watching you guys hit most of the things, many of the important. Sometimes you miss, all of you guys collectively miss. But mostly, mechanically, you guys look okay. Next, we're gonna move on to strategy, but before we move on to strategy, I'm gonna buy you guys a professional tennis racket, right? It's time to start learning how to buy properly. It's time to start actually being lethal as a team, actually having the proper equipment to play, right? So we're gonna talk about economy more, but I want you to treat this idea of economy fundamentally differently than any other skill, because economy is something that you just are supposed to know. This is not something that like, oh, mechanically you have to improve, you have to get better and better and better. No, economy is not like that. Economy is something you just know how to do. It is like, what is the equivalent of that? The tennis analogy is the best thing I got. It's like buying a professional tennis racket. It's not, there's no skill to that. I guess there's legitimately zero skill. It is just something you're supposed to have. It's a tool. It's not something that is supposed to improve over time. It's not a skill. Anyway, let's discuss about what just happened. So now, well, I'll catch you guys up in case you forgot by now. But now you are at the point where, economy-wise, you have lost the pistol, lost the bonus. Correction. You have lost the pistol, you have lost the anti-eco, and you have lost the buy round, your first buy round. So this means that for your opponents, because it came down to such a nail biter, they actually did lose a little bit of money. But going into their fourth round, they have a full set of guns. They are well equipped this round. You guys are not. And what are you supposed to do? Because you screwed the buy, you save. This is a round you're supposed to lose. So, because you bought incorrectly, because you guys squandered the buy, because Ryan, yes, I'm pointing fingers, buddy, you know who you are. It's not entirely Ryan's fault, but like, I'm making, yeah. Because the buy was not good. Because the buy was not good, and you guys didn't buy correctly, you threw away 4 rounds in a row. Because you guys played actually pretty decently, all things considering, after that point. Like, for the level, you guys didn't play too bad. But because your economy was so bad with it, you ended up throwing a bunch of rounds. So, you are now expected, the foreseeable future at this point, the prediction is you are going to be 9-8. They are going to be 9, you are going to be 8. That is a prediction, because what's going to happen is you're going to lose this round because this is your save, and then going into the next round, you are going to be at a slight disadvantage because you both will have guns, but they will have surplus of extra economy. So that's why it's a 9-8. They are expected to, even if they lose and you guys win your next buy round, which is not this round, the next the buy round is the next round. Even if you win that next buy round, they still will have money to buy again. They could buy twice in a row because they had so much capital going into this. So you are expected to lose this round. You are kind of expected, like somewhat expected to lose the next round, even though it's even. And even if you do win, they're going to have a buy for the next round. So it doesn't matter. So it's more important that you win the next buy round. Anyway, let's see what we got. Sorry, that was a whole lot of yappage, but
Yes. From mid, yes.
Okay. I just need smoke.
still very important.
It's hard to defend.
They have op in mid window.
Okay, they actually they invested in an op on buy, which is fascinating to me. So now they are beginning to abuse. So instead of doing that double thing where they buy, have just loaded for cash, one of them actually took an investment and bought an op. Which, you know, fair enough. I thought they were gonna do it on defense. They didn't do it on defense. They're doing it on attack for some reason. I don't know.
Hey, long.
Going back A.
Play short angles for the op.
Oh, what the hell? I didn't even notice. Why do we have a gun? Okay. Because we bought incorrectly. This was supposed to be a full save. Not a single person is supposed to, on our team, is supposed to have a gun. Not a single person. So the fact that 3 of us have guns means that we are going to lose this round. We're going to lose the next round because we're not going to be able to buy as a team next round. And we're going to have to save again. And we're going to have to buy on the 4th round from here. So what round will that be? It'll be 8-8, 8-9, wait, 8-8, 8-9, 8-10, 8-11. So we have just thrown, because 3 of us bought guns, we have thrown 4 rounds. This was supposed to be the reset. Nobody was supposed to buy. It was supposed to be 8-8. Because 3 of us bought, it is now going to be 8-11.
Hey, long.
Just purely off economy. Can there be upsets? Yes. Can some one random player pop the hell off? Yes, that does happen. And does that reset? Does that change the economy? Yes, of course it does. But statistically speaking, that is not how that's going to work. The odds of that happening is like less than 10-20%.
Going back A.
Play short angles for the op.
Because look at this. Ryan is going to have to get how many kills? 3 kills. Well, okay, now Davis with a deagle is going to have to get 4 kills. He's going to have to get 4 kills. This round is already over. Okay, now Davis has to get 5 kills. With a deagle. In order for this to go the way that it was supposed to go, which is you all lose, but you have money for next round. There is no money for next round. You guys ate all the seed money now. So that means that you're not going to have any money next round.
By the way, you're better off rushing and dying than saving the sheriff, unless you want to grab my vandal in mid.
You want to
Save
bench
it.
then?
Let me see. I didn't realize they did that. I was more focused on like the small technical stuff when I was doing the mid-set coaching. I wasn't really thinking about economy. I did not realize they screwed their economy that badly until watching this back. Okay, here, this should be a full save. We got a full save at some point.
Be careful, they... Oh, yeah.
What? We have a vandal. Oh, it's so over. Yeah, if we keep buying like this, it never ends. If you keep buying half and half and half and half and half, you are projected to lose every single round. It is just red at this point. The game is over.
Don't see anything.
Got nothing.
The game was over last round when 3 of us bought guns. The game was over.
Window.
Got one.
And it has nothing to do. It has absolutely nothing to do with the map. It has absolutely nothing to do with strategy. It has absolutely nothing to do with, oh, I'm bad at this map, or I'm good at this map, or I'm bad at this character, or I'm good at this character. It has absolutely nothing to do with, oh, I'm feeling good and playing well today. I'm feeling bad and not playing well today. Absolutely nothing. It is just pure math. By doing this, we have basically taken the die, and instead of having the standard probability, we erased all the 6s and 5s and 4s and replaced them with 1s. So now we're low rolling every single round. That's not a map thing. That's just we just played super incorrectly. Yeah, it's over.
I have my ult. I have...
Okay, I don't have to watch the rest of it. It's because we're talking about economy today. I don't have to watch the rest of it because we made the mistake on round 8-7. We made the mistake on round 16, economy-wise. So there is no point in watching anything further because we've just lost. There's no way to reset from that. That is crazy. Okay, yeah, we definitely don't feel... Again. Actually, I'm going to say this. You should feel a little bad, but that's more on me, not... Again, I will take full responsibility for that because I have not had the chance to explain this to you guys yet. We are talking about it now, so we're going to fix it now. Don't feel bad. That's fine. All I need you guys to know is that we now... it's becoming very clearly apparent to me. We need to talk about economy. Because economy is super important. Because you guys had it. You guys bought perfectly on attack. I did not... Well, not perfectly. You guys bought pretty well on attack. I don't really have that many qualms with how you guys bought on attack. I have a big qualm with how you guys bought on defense. That was very bad. So, what time is it right now? How long have I been live? I don't have the OBS thing, so because I am not directly streaming on that. Okay, I was apparently live for 4 hours. That is not right. What? There's no way. No, there's no way. I've been live for about 2 and some hours. Okay. I will talk more in detail in our next in our next training session on Thursday. Actually, since we don't have a game on Tuesday, we're going to talk about it on Tuesday. So we're going to do a crash course on how to buy, how to do economy, and how to do numbers, and when to buy and when to save, and how, like, the really, really fine nuance stuff. We're going to do all of that economy-wise. But until then, I'm going to administer this video, this live stream. All of you guys have to watch this. I'm making zero exceptions. All of you guys have to know how to buy as a team. And just generally correctly. You guys got to know how to buy. Because I'm willing to bet if you learn how to buy correctly and you play online ranked and you buy correctly in ranked, all of you guys are going to go up a few levels. Every single one of you is going to go up. Because what this does is, instead of having a Vandal, how you're supposed to, which is if you win and lose every now and then, you're going to have Vandals every other round, right? Or you're going to have a Vandal half of the game. Instead of that, you are putting yourself in a situation where you basically never have a Vandal. And even when you do have a Vandal, your teammate doesn't have a Vandal, so your entire team's not shooting at full power. So, watch this video. I'm going to make sure that I want to administer this to the entirety of B team. I'm going to make everyone watch this. And I will go over more about it next week on Tuesday when I get some time.